Just a thought on the lineup you got going tonight, the little veteran lineup, and just finally get those guys going to get their feet wet and get going.
Yeah, we're into the exhibition schedule a little bit, and now we're getting, I think everybody's now part of the getting a game in right now. Connor and Leon and Ekholm, Bouchard, I think those are the last 4 to get in a game, and I don't know. They don't like to sit around too long, and we've got it so they spaced out and playing maybe 3 or 4 games for those top guys. But definitely next year will be a little bit different with the schedule it is. But I think everyone's likes playing games, and as much as I'd like to think that my practices are unbelievable and they don't want to miss out, I do think they prefer playing some games.
When it comes to those top guys, do they come to you and say, hey, I want 3 or 4? Like, I know Connor played 5 last year. Like, how does it kind of work with them?
Last year was new to me and didn't really know exactly what kind of schedule would be and how many games they'd play. I talked to him before about, this is a ballpark. I know Connor wanted to get a little more, didn't feel like he was on top of his game, wanted another exhibition game last year. This year, talked to those guys, this is what I was thinking, and they kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, yeah, that sounds good, and that's about it.
For Trent Frederick, the type of injury that he had, Leon was talking about it, like it can linger a little bit. What sense are you getting about where he's at and how much you're expecting from him in the early going here recovering from this?
Yeah, I would say like he's 100% healthy, but it's still maybe a little bit, you might feel it once in a while. I haven't had this injury, but I've just heard our medical staff talk about it, that late in the year, Draisaitl had it in the playoffs several years ago, Henrique 2 years ago in the playoffs, and they said when they came back, they had 2 or 3 months off, and they came back and were skating in September, and they kind of like, I still feel it, I'm not sure about it, and then by October, they don't even talk about it. So it's just, I think it's a little bit, you can feel it, and maybe you're just not trusting it quite yet. And then after playing and getting into the competition, the adrenaline of games, you forget about it and you feel comfortable. But, I don't want to speak for Trent, but that's kind of what I've heard about that kind of injury, and that's kind of the process.
Kris, just get some clarity on Frederick. Do you want to give him a little bit of run here with Connor and Leon, or do you want to try him at center still and see what he can do there?
Well, I do like him doing some reps playing center because we're always looking for center because of what we do with our lineup, injuries. You like to have some flexibility and guys being able to move there. But I do want to have him play with those guys for a little bit and get some chemistry. Freddie hasn't had the opportunity to play top 6 very much in his career, and feel that hopefully he can complement him. He's really good on the walls. I don't think he gets appreciated enough for the playmaking abilities that he does have. And then he's also a big body that, was not afraid to get to the net. And playing with those guys, they like to have the puck, and you don't need another guy to hog the puck from those guys. You want a guy to retrieve it, get it to him, get to the net, and I think Freddie's pretty comfortable doing that.
Kris, what stood out to you most about Lebanon so far?
His playmaking, being able to make those slick little passes, slipping it underneath a forechecker stick, or, spinning off a guy to break the puck out. I think he's still getting used to the smaller ice area, the confinements of it. But I think for just coming over here, and he's put in a pretty strong showing.
And Stuart Skinner to start tonight, is he playing the full?
He's playing full 60.
Full 60.
With Andrew Mangiapane, what's maybe the best case scenario for him? Because he seems like he can do so much. How do you kind of foresee, the best case scenario?
Yeah, I think he's a very versatile player, and it's nice having that. Whether he's playing left wing, right wing, on the power play, penalty kill, we definitely want him to be part of the penalty kill, and some power play. And whether he's playing left side, right side, we'll see. I think we'll, he had some time early in the training camp with McDavid, and I saw some chemistry there. But I also think he's able to drive some more possession play, some scoring on another line. So hopefully him and Nuge can build some chemistry together, yeah, go from there. The plan was for him to play last game in Winnipeg with Nuge, but he was sick the other night, so he missed that. So he had another day of rest, and he should be able to play tonight.
Kris, regarding your rookies on such a veteran team that's been really good, are you hoping that whomever makes it just makes you'd love to make a big impact, but you maybe don't need a lot from the rookies, but just a little something that you haven't had?
I think we definitely want some secondary scoring and being able to chip in a little bit. We don't need a guy to step up and jump out and be on the first line. With those players, we want them to be involved in the team this year. Hopefully it works out, but we're not going to force it. But we're looking at the long picture that hopefully they're productive players by mid-season and are able to do that for 6 to 8 years. That would be the ideal situation for those guys. We got some younger players who have talent with Savoy and Howard that we hope that can be a big piece of our team eventually. We're not expecting it to be October 8th, home opener. We'll get them comfortable and contributing in a role that they can help us, and then hopefully we can build from there.
Sorry to interrupt you again. Still learning your cadence. With Matt Savoy, he's a player that has shown he can put up some numbers in the American League, but there's also a well-rounded game you need to have to stay in the NHL. So in the evaluation of him during preseason, is there one of those that's more important than the other, like him piling up some points versus
No, I think
details?
points, short-term points is overestimated. I think it's overlooked, or not overlooked. I think it's too much emphasis on it just because there's so many factors on just pure luck. I've seen some players I've coached who've played horrendous games get 3 or 4 goals sometimes just because of the way their line mates are playing or just the other opposition goalie so bad. I'd like to see them winning puck battles, being able to make plays under pressure. And, there's a couple plays Savoy last night. I remember, winning some battles against bigger players along the wall and coming out with it where I didn't expect him to do it and then being able to make the next play. Those are kind of the things that I'm looking for to see if he's ready. And, so far, it's early in preseason. The competition's lower than it would be on opening night in the regular season, but I think he's done very well.